Hey guys, what's up? So as you know, I started a new series called The Journey to Phalloplasty, or you may not know that, but if you haven't, go check out my first video of the series. So I just wanted to record some thoughts pertaining to surgery thus far, and I'm someone who struggles with anxiety. I always have, I probably always will, but I just wanted to share my current anxieties. My current number one anxiety is that I'm gonna have complications, and it's not something that I can control. I very well know that, but I also just wish so badly that I will not have complications. I've not had a surgery with complications. If I do have complications, at least I'm hoping that they're not super severe or anything. I guess it's just something that I'm trying to learn to let go and just kind of go with the flow, and whatever happens, happens. You know, that's part of surgery. There's always going to be risks. So I'm just I'm just thinking about it as taking a risk and seeing that it will be worth it in the end, and trying not to worry about it so much because there's nothing I can do. So that's how I'm coping with that. Number two anxiety is that I'm not going to be able to work out. And working out is kind of a coping mechanism. It's kind of a coping mechanism for anxiety for me. It helps calm me down. It makes me feel just better in my own skin. And it's kind of my safe place and part of my routine. My routine is one of my biggest coping mechanisms. I stick to my routine, my pretty much daily routine throughout the week, because it just helps me stay calm. So when I have like routine disruption, definitely throws me for a loop. I'm pretty worried about that, and just the fact that I really love working out, and it's that endorphin rush, and I'm afraid to kind of fall into a post-op depression because of that. It happened with top surgery. My hysterectomy was actually one of the easiest surgeries because I was able to move around pretty quickly after surgery. So I didn't really struggle with that when it came to my histo, and I'm very thankful for that. But this is definitely gonna be my biggest surgery. Definitely gonna be the most painful, and I'm gonna be laid up the most with this one. So that is another anxiety of mine. Another anxiety is the scar on my arm. I'm thinking of how I'm going to deal with the physical changes of that. It's kind of become not so much a big a deal for me as it is for people. I'm worried about people around me and not really being used to seeing it. I've looked up enough surgeries by now that I've seen other guys' arms, and it's become kind of a normal thing to me. Kind of how top surgery scars, I don't even see them anymore when I look at other trans guys' pictures, because it's just like a normal thing to me. When I look at cis guys' topless photos, not that I do that all the time, but when I see like a shirtless cis guy, I look at his chest expecting to see scars, and I don't see them, and I find that weird now. So my way of coping about the arm scar is just to look at more guys' arms after having a forearm phalloplasty, because it just kind of normalizes it to me, and it's just another thing to be proud of, like a battle scar. And I know it's going to be different when it is my own arm, because it is a change to my body. So I'm thinking of ways to cope with that after the fact. My mom is going to be my caretaker for surgery, and I'm slightly afraid to scare her with my scar on my arm. You know, the wound on my arm is going to be pretty big. It is where they are clearing the hair off of my arm, and it looks pretty gnarly at first. So I'm afraid to scare her or anyone else around me. I don't like making people feel uncomfortable, so I fear that. But as for myself, I'm been definitely mentally preparing myself more for this scar, and it's not getting to me as much, so that's pretty cool. I've got a lot of support through social media with other trans guys that are going through the same thing, or have gone through the same thing, that have been really awesome at offering me advice or any help, and I'm so thankful for that. Thank you, God, for Instagram and YouTube. Yeah, those are my current anxieties. Trying to think if I have any more. I think also insurance. You never really know if insurance is gonna pull a fast one on you, because Dr. Chen's office doesn't really submit for pre-approval up until like a month before surgery. They originally said it was gonna be 90 days before surgery, but they're backlogged. So they said it's been about 30 days, but I've heard of it being even sooner. Like, one person apparently didn't get approved for surgery like the day before, and I'm just like, what? That sounds silly. That sounds very silly, because so many people are putting out so much money and time and effort into getting this surgery, and to have it not even be sure if you're going to be able to follow through and have the surgery, that is so nerve-wracking. I will not accept that. So I'm afraid that insurance is going to randomly deny me or something along those lines. I'm still working on getting my electrolysis reimbursed, and I supposedly had a case manager, but she has kind of fallen off the face of the planet. I do not know what's going on with that, so that's something else that I have to figure out. Anyways, I think I've rambled long enough. I just wanted to go over my mindset approaching surgery. I am 80 days away now, and I'm getting excited, and I'm looking forward to everything. Just feeling more comfortable in my body, using public restrooms, and the other things that I don't want to talk about because my mom might be watching this. So yeah, thanks for everyone who is supporting me. Thanks, Mom, for being my caretaker, and I'm sorry. I hope you don't have to see me too naked. I don't know. I'm sure it's gonna get beautifully ugly, and I'm gonna get very vulnerable, and that is not something I like to do. I guess I'm anxious about that for sure. Alright guys, that is it. Thank you for listening to my thoughts. Peace out, and I will see you next time.